Hi, everyone. I'm Deb Girard, the Executive Director of Impact Melanoma. Today is the second in our series of educational programs during Melanoma Awareness Month, and we're going to talk about our newest program, No Sun for Babies. The premise of this program is quite simple. We found a way to educate new parents about how to care for their infants outside in the sun. This is an opportunity for parents to look at their own sun behavior and think about how they will protect their young children and help them to develop a healthy relationship with the sun while enjoying the outdoors. Think about this. Your risk of developing potentially deadly melanoma doubles with a history of 5 or more sunburns. That's something we all need to know, especially new parents. In partnerships with hospitals, Impact Melanoma delivers to all new parents a No Sun for Babies great reusable bag with a piece of beautiful sun protective infant wear, helpful prevention information, and access to a blog to ask questions, get answers, and find additional information about how to take care of you and your family, and much more to support the first step in sun protection for life. This year, we're piloting our program in 3 hospitals: Northside Hospital in Atlanta, South Shore and Beverly Hospitals in Massachusetts. Joining me today are 2 of our partners in prevention, Lowther, Chief Brand Officer for Mod50, and the donation specialist for our No Sun for Babies clothing program, and Dr. Nicole Kounalakis, Medical Director of the Melanoma and Skin Cancer Program at Northside Hospital. Allie will provide you with information about the hows and whys of sun protective clothing as a tool to reduce the risk of skin cancer. And then Dr. Kounalakis will provide you with information about how to care for infants when outdoors. If you have any questions during the session, just post them in the comment section. So let's get started. Welcome, Allie and Dr. Kounalakis. Allie, let's get started with you. Welcome. So good to see you.
Thank you very much, Deb, for your introduction. So I just want to introduce you to Mod50 a little bit. Mod50 is the leader in fashionable sun protective swimwear, and we make it possible to have both sun protection and fashion in one brand. Every product we offer is certified UPF 50+, which means that the fabric protects you from the harmful effects of sun exposure. We offer many products for every member of the family so that you only have to go to one place for your sun protective swimwear needs. We've been referencing UPF a little bit already today, and so I kind of wanted to go over what that was with you and how that plays into this. You may be familiar with SPF, and that's what's used to rate sunscreens. But UPF is the same thing, but for fabrics. UPF stands for Ultraviolet Protection Factor, and the UPF rating indicates how much of the sun's rays are blocked by the fabric and do not penetrate through to your skin. A UPF rating of 50 means that 98% of UVA and UVB rays are blocked. And this is the highest rating a fabric can receive. This is important to know because many common fabrics are not UPF 50+ and do not provide adequate protection from UV radiation. For example, a plain white cotton t-shirt only provides a UPF of 7 when it's dry and 3 when it's wet. So the best way to be confidently protected is by wearing certified UPF 50+ fabrics. Sun protective apparel is not just for sunny days. 80% of UV rays penetrate through the clouds, making sun protection a must no matter the weather. And knowing how to care for UPF sun protective clothing is also important. It's pretty easy, not too hard. All you want to do is follow the care instructions on the garment, and in general, that's going to be machine wash cold, line dry, and then kind of tumble dry if you need to fluff it. But the most important thing you can do is rinse out your swimwear right after you are done swimming, especially if you've been in chlorinated water. So being really diligent about caring for it as soon as you're done swimming and being very kind to it in that way will help increase the longevity of your product. So we were really excited when we got to partner with Impact Melanoma on the No Sun for Babies program. We think that's really important to start early and have people educated from the outset about how diligent we need to be with babies about their sun protection. And as you'll see from the slides that are up, it doesn't have to be serious. Mod50 provides these amazing, super fun prints, full coverage silhouettes that really let your kids still have their personality, but stay 100% protected. So a couple, relatively disturbing facts. One, blistering sunburn during childhood can nearly double a person's chance of developing melanoma. So avoidance is key. A baby's skin is thinner and more delicate, so consistent and diligent care is needed to prevent sunburns. And the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that babies 6 months and younger be kept away from direct sunlight. And the best way to protect the infants is to keep them covered using SPF clothing. So we really believe that, finding some super cute swimwear, using it regularly, teaching your child early that covering their skin to protect themselves from the sun is normal, important, and you can still look cute and stylish. So thank you very much, Impact Melanoma, for starting this great program. And I will now turn it over to Dr. Nicole, the Medical Director of Northside Hospital's Melanoma and Skin Cancer Program.
Hi there. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. I am a surgical oncologist that specializes in the care and treatment of melanoma and skin cancer patients. We definitely see a lot of very advanced skin cancers, and these develop and stem from frequent and cumulative sun exposures that lead to burns throughout a person's lifetime. So a child's skin, as said by Deb and Ali, is definitely more sensitive to the sun, more prone to burning. And when children experience these burns, it increases their risk of forming a skin cancer as an adult. As parents and as adults, as caregivers, it's important to serve as good role models by making skin safety a part of both your and your child's daily routine. Here are some top 5 tips to try to incorporate with your family. Seek the shade, especially here in the Southeast. Avoid the sun midday during that time. Cover up and understand the clothes that can protect you from the sun's rays, like using those beautiful Mod50 clothes. Wear a hat. Wear sunglasses to prevent the formation of cataracts. And understand how to buy, wear, and use sunscreen. Look for SPF 15. Look for broad spectrum with both UVA and B protection. Apply it 30 minutes before you go out and reapply it every 2 hours or after swimming, sweating, or toweling off. By reinforcing these practices, you can enjoy spending a lot of time outdoors as a family. And I just really want to thank Impact Melanoma for partnering with Northside's Melanoma and Skin Cancer Program. For those of you who don't know our hospital, we deliver the most babies nationally than any other hospital. We have a very big labor and delivery department here. And the way we celebrated Melanoma Awareness Month, it was to collaborate for this No Sun for Babies campaign. We provided 200 gift bags to mothers that recently delivered their babies at 4 Northside facilities. In the bag was this lovely Mod50 clothes and skin safety educational materials, both from Impact Melanoma and our Northside Hospital Melanoma and Skin Cancer Program. So sending these newborns home with their very first tool to protect their skin, we're trying to emphasize skin protection in their first days of life and hopefully provide a lasting lesson for both their parents and children on how to care for their skin. So thank you for this unique collaboration. And yeah, we're here to take questions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. As we get into this warmer season, at least in New England today, the sun is out. And, this is really about sun protection for everybody. We are starting with our littlest, our littlest citizens, and going forward, we really hope that what will happen as a part of this program is that parents will take care of their other children the same way and begin developing a program of skin protection for life. So these are really helpful pieces. I want also to remind people that we have 2 more sessions coming up. We have a session about support programs for melanoma survivors around the country that's next Wednesday, which is the 19th of May. And then on the 26th of May, we're doing a session on community sunscreen programs. I think both of these will be very informative. And again, all of these programs will be up on our YouTube channel, and we'll have that link up for you to look at, and they'll be up there along with our session from last week about our Your Skin Is In program that has been very impactful over the last decade. So finally, I'd like to offer you an opportunity to help us meet our mission of reducing the risk of skin cancer and melanoma everywhere. Help us help others never have to hear the words, "You have melanoma." Help us help families never have to lose a loved one from this disease or go through grueling treatment to keep the disease at bay. Take some action today. You've heard about the importance of wearing sunscreen, UPF clothing, seeking some shade, wearing sunglasses, and wearing a hat. Share these things, these sun protection tools, with the people in your families, with those around you. Be a good role model with your own sun protective behavior. So thank you so much. With that, I think we have a few questions, Teresa. So I'll put the first one out there. How do you balance SPF clothing with heat? As in making sure our kids don't get overheated. Allie, you want to take that one?
Sure thing. That's a great question. So making sure that the apparel you select is lightweight and breathable, but still rated UPF 50. And that may be relatively hard to find, but doing your research and finding great brands that have put in the time and attention to do a lot of fabric R&D. All of the Mod50 fabrics are both breathable, lightweight, and have a cool hand feel so that you can be really comfortable while you're protected. But there are a lot of other great brands out there. Coolabar is one of them that we definitely appreciate their fabric R&D as well. So really just making sure that you select brands that you know are deeply rooted in science so that you can have both sun protection and that cool, comfortable feeling in your clothing.
Thanks. I think the other thing I would say about that is make sure that if you're wearing sunscreen and you have it on parts and you don't love sunscreen, wear sun protective clothing to support that so that you're using both things. And the others, certainly the other way around is put some sunscreen on the parts of your body that your UPF clothing doesn't cover. And, always wear a hat. One other question, how long does the UPF swimwear last?
Yep. So typically the life of the garment will be approximately 40 washes. A lot of times they will last longer than that, but from a perspective of in the apparel industry, that is typically the useful life of a garment. If you follow the care instructions and are really diligent about rinsing out chlorine, definitely possible to last longer. But you do need to replace UPF clothing, throughout the course of your life. You cannot buy one piece at the age of 15 and expect it to be in 100% prime condition when you're 50. So definitely replacing and refreshing is a good idea.
Thank you so much. One other one here. Does UPF clothing work for all skin colors?
Absolutely. It's all about the coverage aspect. So as long as you're covering, it will protect any skin color.
Nicole, I'm wondering if you could say something about skin of color. And, you know, this is not only, skin cancer is not only a Caucasian issue, it's an issue for everybody. And I'm wondering if you could say something about that.
Sure. So African Americans and people with darker skin, they have a lot more of a sun barrier by their increased melanin in their skin. So while they can still get skin cancers, the incidence of them is a lot less. So this is primarily a disease of Caucasians. Interesting, unfortunately, like many other cancers, people of color, when they do get skin cancer, it tends to be more aggressive. It also tends to be in different regions of the body that you would expect. So clearly there's something going on pathologically that's unique in people of color getting skin cancer. They form it in their fingernails or the bottoms of their feet. These can be very aggressive and significant delays in diagnosis. I think, you know, it's a really hard thing to say that that people of color definitely need to wear sunscreen. I don't think that we know that for sure, given the amount of melanin in their skin. I think the important thing to recognize is that even people of color burn. So to protect your skin in those ways when you're in high-risk situations is important. But it's a little harder to advocate that they should always be wearing sunscreen similar to people that have fair skin.
Thank you. That's useful. And again, we want to go to the issue of burn. And that's really what we're trying to avoid, as it is one of the primary indicators of skin cancer. Here's another one. This is a good one. Any tips for how to encourage kids to apply sunscreen themselves and get good coverage? That's always a trick. That's a trick question always. And that's one of the reasons that we're talking about using multiple strategies to deal with sun protection. Wear some sun protective clothing if your kids really don't like sunscreen, and make it a game. Make it a game of, you know, counting to 15 or counting to 30 and getting their sunscreen on as young kids. And we've heard some really fun things, like getting your kids involved in understanding the UV index and when they should be putting sunscreen on based on, you know, how cloudy it is. And earlier, Ali talked about that, that even on cloudy days, 80% of the UV rays are still coming through. So see if you can make a game of it, and use a number of strategies. Don't just use sunscreen. Anybody, either one of you want to say anything else about that?
I'm sorry, go ahead, Ali. I think one thing I've noticed with my own children is that while they may not obey you, they will imitate you. So
Exactly.
While you protect your skin and show that it's important to you, I think eventually it'll follow suit.
It's being a good role model, right? Here's another one. How do you encourage your kids' summer daycares to practice safe skin? For example, camps. That's a very interesting one right now, of course, because camps are just starting up again. And we do provide training for camp counselors. That's one of the programs that Impact Melanoma supports. So if you have some interest in that for your camps, just visit our website or talk to any of us, because we do have some experience, lots of experience with lifeguards and camp counselors. But again, as Nicole said to the last question, it's really about being good role models, right? This is the grassroots. When we do the things that we want our kids to do and we want it to be imitated, we just have to keep doing those same things. Put on your sunscreen, put on a shirt, wear your hat, and talk with your camp about why those things are important to you. That's grassroots change. Any other thoughts about that, ladies? Okay. I think that's it for questions today. So I'm really very grateful to have you both with us today. This is a great program, and it really is the beginning of sun protection for life. And I really thank you for being our partners in prevention, and hope that everybody out there will join us for our next two sections. And please go to our YouTube Live and share it. You'll see it up on your screen, and have your friends and family take a look at these workshops as well.